Welcome back to our Saints mock drafts 3.0 Mesh edition. For this time, I kind of changed up a few things. I didn't go with my usual guys that I kind of go with the last couple of times. But at 29, I'm surprised he dropped this far. It's not necessarily a scheme fit with the Saints that they run more of a 4-3, and with Georgia they kind of run more of a 3-3-5, 3-4 type of defense. But I went with Nolan Smith. He doesn't fit the archetype as well since he's 6'3" instead of like a 6'6" like a Davenport was or a Peyton Turner. But for me overall, I would rather get him because he was the best available player. Then at 40, I went with guard. I saw Osiris Torrance, the former Louisiana Raging Cajun and Florida Gator, there at 40. To me, if you want to move on from Andrews Pete soon, I would take Osiris Torrance. The fact that he was there at 40, I was shocked. So to me, getting those two value picks already, I feel like I'm winning the draft. Then in the third round, I changed it up. Instead of going A.T. Perry, you brought in Bryan Edwards as another big body receiver in case Michael Thomas gets injured, and he has that rapport with Derek Carr back in Las Vegas with the Raiders. I went with a guy that's a little bit shorter. He plays both inside and outside. I went with wide receiver Marvin Mims Jr. out of Oklahoma. He really surprised me with his tape. I liked what he could do. He's able to have that top end speed, but he's also able to play in the slot just in case you are missing a guy like Michael Thomas, because you can't really necessarily expect him to be on the field as often as he used to with all these injuries that he's been piling up. Then in the fourth round, I went with an interior defensive lineman, defensive tackle Zach Pickens out of South Carolina, the former Gamecock. He's more of a guy that can stop the run and get some sacks. Overall, he had 1 sack in his sophomore year. He had a couple of sacks last year, and then in his junior season, he had 4. So overall, he's able to get some pressure on the quarterback and stop the run. Then with my next pick at 146, I didn't take my guy Deuce Vaughn anymore. I actually went with Tajay Spears. A lot of guys would probably be happy with that. The former Tulane product, he's an explosive guy that could really pop out and be a guy that could take over for Alvin Kamara in the near future, especially with Alvin Kamara probably being suspended. In the next pick at 165, I went with a tight end. A lot of people want a tight end maybe in the second, third, or even in the first round. Some people, as Saints fans, want a tight end, like getting Darnell Washington, getting Dalton Kincaid, getting Michael Mayer. But to me, getting Payne Durham, the tight end out of Purdue, getting him later in the rounds, I think that's a good value, and having him be behind Juwan Johnson and Taysom Hill, you're not expecting him to start anytime soon, and he could push Adam Trautman out in the near future. Then with the last couple of picks, I took Bumper Pool. I took him in my first mock draft. I just really like the name, and just getting another depth at linebacker that could possibly replace Caden Ellis would be pretty good. And then with my last pick, I took cornerback Cam Brown out of Ohio State, because you could always use another Buckeye if you're the Saints.